This is the Q&A. Thank you so much for coming. Like, you filled the room, you waited, you've been patient, and I'm not going to make you wait any longer. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the guy you came to see, one of the sweetest, most talented guys in the world, Mr. Wil Wheaton!
I'm not that interesting, and it's really okay. My feelings might be hurt.
Awesome! I'll see you later.
I've been working on a TV show called Eureka for the last 3 months. And I haven't seen my family or my dogs in a really long time. And it's, you know how you think that's how I feel? It's 1,000 times worse than that. I miss them so much. And there was a moment last week where I thought, I just can't, I gotta go home. I miss my dog. I also have a wife there. And I was talking to my wife Ann about it. She was like, are you insane? You're thinking about not going to PAX? And I was like, yeah, but I really think so. She was like, PAX is summer camp for you. You have to go. And I said, you know what, you're right. The minute I get there, I'm going to be glad that I went. And I've really scaled back my work schedule for this particular PAX so that I can really enjoy PAX. And though I've been to PAX 5 times, this is the first time I've really been to PAX. PAX is awesome. Playing games. It's been amazing. I stayed up and played Gamma World until 2 o'clock this morning. I know. And it was almost like when I was in high school, except I hurt my back really bad and I can't sit down. Because I'm old now, and apparently that's what happens when you stay up till 2 a.m. playing Gamma World. Now, as a consequence of being up on Eureka for as long as I was, I didn't have time to put together the usual awesome hour presentation, storytelling extravaganza that I usually do. But I read this story at Gen Con, which, by the way, if you like role-playing games, you should really go to. It's sort of like, it's like PAX put in the Midwest, and there's more dice. So I read the story when I was there, and I had a really fun time telling this story. And the people who were assembled in the audience had a good time hearing it. So I wanted to read it. And what's really funny is that it's usually, this book is the story is a little chapbook that I made to take to Gen Con. And I thought that I had what I know is right. So I thought that I had one in my backpack, and I didn't. But then I remembered, oh, it's on my laptop, and I can put it on my iPad. So I'm not just some fucking douchebag with an iPad. I'm actually using it for something. Spontaneously turn into a turtleneck. Anything I hold in my left hand will stop working. But I guess we'll just sort of find out together as I tell you the story. When I am done telling you this story, I want to spend the rest of our time together doing Q&A. Because I usually spend like 50 of the 60 minutes telling stories and then trying to race through some questions. And one of the things that was very important to me coming to this PAX was to try to give a little bit back to the community that has given so much to me. And that's why I'm setting aside time to sign autographs every day. And it's why I thought that it would be cool to do this thing. So I know what I want to talk about, but I never know what other people want me to talk about. That sounded like look how great I am making me for the song. And I wanted to do that. I stuff that we talked about. So after I tell you this story, enforcers will run out like ninjas. They will have a couple microphones, and I would like you to line up no more than 5 at a time. Don't be a dick. And then it will take them until our time is done. And the last announcement I should make before this is over is that my time here today is released under Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial Share-alike license. So please use the material and apply that license to it, please. So when I go to take that cool picture off of Flickr, it doesn't say "all rights reserved." Guy who came to Woodstock in Portland. I was like, wow, I actually look cool in that picture, and I can't show it to anyone. I guess what I can do, Control F4 or screenshot. So I'm going to be saying thank you a lot. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everybody who has, you waited, I imagine, a very long time. And then once you got here, you had to wait a very long time. And I was in the back there, and I was like, what the fuck, get the panel started. Come on, the people are waiting out there. And Hardwick was like, let's amuse ourselves by doing silly Twitter things. So we did that. It was pretty good time. But sincerely, the PAX community has just been amazing. People have been so kind. And when I'm walking around the convention and I hand someone a game, someone's like, hey, stop and take a picture with me. And I say, if I stop and take a picture with you, all I'm going to do is take pictures while I'm here to play games. And every single person is going to awesome. Oh, I totally get that. Go be a person. Except one guy who was like a media douche. Who was like, I'm like a crash. And I was like, yeah, now go fuck yourself. And, there's lots of different kinds of games that we play. We play video games, we play classic video games, we play console games, we play multiplayer games, we play games with our friends, we play games with racist 15-year-olds who tell us all the different ways they fuck our mom. We play board games, we play games that exist in a temporarily shared imagination that we hope to return to all the time. We play games on this stage with Chris Perkins and Bernina. It's awesome. But my wife doesn't play any of these games. It's just not her thing. It's not what she's interested in. My wife is, she's not a nerd, she's nerd adjacent. But we have found a few games that we can play together. One of those games is Sorry. Because I make a choice, I figured out, I could count cards in Sorry, and then I would probably have a better idea of, how to win the game, but, I can't help it. I start playing a game, and my gamer brain is here's how to maximally, efficiently destroy this game. I can't help it, It's obviously I'm going to stay there and take it back, I want to wait there and try to move this guy instead, because I go backwards over here. It makes a lot more sense to Sorry you there than it does over here, because that's how I play, right? And my wife is just I just like that we're doing something together. So Sorry is a game that we can play together, where I can't wreck it, by being a gamer when we play it. But one of the games that my wife absolutely loves, that I'm terrible at, is Scrabble. I am awful at Scrabble. Anne's really good. She's one of those people that routinely gets 300 points in a two-player game. She's insanely good. And she has this weird Scrabble food where she just makes magic happen on the board. And I'm usually sort of she's Jim Dark Magic and I'm Midwin set on fire. That's how it is. She's the acid pit and I'm AFL. That's how it is. So this is a story about playing Scrabble with my wife. Well, that's sort of what it's about on one level. But if you're married or in a long-term relationship somewhat, you'll know that it's about something else entirely. It's called Triple Word Score. It was originally published on December 30th, 2008. And I think this was originally published in a column that I wrote for the other. My wife Anne is one of those Scrabble players who regularly scores between 350 and 400 points in a two-player game. I am one of those Scrabble players who is lucky to break 150 without opening the dictionary to find out if the collection of mysterious glyphs laid out before him can somehow be assembled into a legal word that is more complicated than one you would find in a Dick and Jane book. I do not provide even a nominal challenge, and where the average player would experience something akin to fun while playing the game, I experience only frustration. My wife insists that we play together. Making words is fun, she says, oblivious to my failure to use all my letters even once in the decade we've been playing. That's right, no big news for her. But since she puts up with me describing everything in the world in RPG terms, for example, some idiot cast freezing cloud out there. I thought I would have picked up some resist cold with all my trips to Seattle, but I just took 1d8 ongoing 15 feet to the garage and back, and I keep failing my saves even though I'm back in the house. This is bullshit. To the more mundane, Wizard needs food, badly. The very least I can do is provide some companionship while my wife makes the Scrabble board and me her bitch. For several months I've been able to avoid the humiliation of putting my scrabular impotence on full display. When she asked me to play last night after dinner, her breathtaking beauty illuminated only by the twinkle lights on our Christmas tree and the flickering glow of our fireplace. My wife is awesome. Did last night. I know. Somehow she stays married to me. I failed my save versus charm because she got the plus 20 "you're madly in love with me" bonus. And I went directly to our game closet. I looked past games that would be fun for me to play. Battlelore, that's two-player game. Carcassonne, Guillotine, Awful Green Things from Outer Space. Uno. Enslaved by her spell, I pulled Scrabble off the shelf and took it to the living room. Our dogs curled up on the floor next to us as we began to play. I reached into the bag of tiles and drew an X. She reached into the bag of tiles and drew an E. It was an unnecessary harbinger of things to come. She went first and instantly took a 20-point lead. I scored 7. Much better than usual. 4 or 5 times later, she played sexy for a triple word score, and I never caught up. It was a blowout. I was Custer, the big one. Varro, Conning, the Broncos in Super Bowl 24. The very slim piece of the Venn diagram that's like also football fans. It was just like, oh, dude. With about 20 tiles remaining in the bag, I saw a chance to draw within 40 points. I had QIEEB after I had played an ineffectual 2 letters for a humiliating 3 points. If I drew a T, N, or an R, I could place the Q on a triple word score, build off the U in fugue, make quiet, queer, or queen. Reached into the bag, drew the T, and held my breath. For Murphy's Law of Scrabble is this. With 85 potential places to play, your opponent will always play in the one place that leaves you thoroughly fucked. And put down 2 tiles, building off the F in fugue, and blocking me. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? It's a bundle of sticks, she said. I know what it is! But you couldn't have made potential places she could have played on the board. Oh, I'm sorry, she said. You want me to play at a different place? I will, but it'll be the same score. This is how it always is when we play games together. My wife is not competitive. She is blissfully unaware of my anguish as I attempt to match her score. She does not know that I consider it a moral victory if she does not double my score. No, I said. I will find another place to play. 5 minutes later, I found it. Put my tiles down. I get 2 points. Go me. She recorded my score. I noted that she was not doubling my score by 10 points, and I resolved to close the gap. And failed. With only a U and an I to play, I was down by over 100 points, and I just wanted the game to be over. Okay, I play the U here and I make fucks, I said. What's fucks? Oh, don't you know? That's what it's called when you suck so hard at Scrabble that you just make up a word so that the goddamn game can be over. It's like, oh dude, my wife kicked my ass so hard at Scrabble I totally just went for the fucks. She looked at me and she slowly shook her head. I took the tile off the board and replaced it with an I. Vix, she said. Yeah! Vix is what it's called when you try to fucks and your wife cockblocks you. I don't know, I totally tried to fucks, but then my wife was like, I'm gonna fix you! She looked at me and she laughed. I joined her. I conceded. I said, you are the ultimate master of Scrabble. She leaned over the board and kissed me. I miss little things like holding her hand when we take a walk. Thanks for playing with me, she said. I love you. I love you too. Our gaming philosophy is very simple. It's not about winning or losing. It's about enjoying the time that you spend when you're all playing together. This is why Anne puts up with all of my buxing, and I come back for more, even when she fixes me. The end. I'm sorry. I thought it was 12 hours from now. My bad, my mistake. So now is the time on the big broadcast where I would like to take questions from the audience. So here's what we do. We have one enforcer here. We have one enforcer there. They each have a microphone. So please line up no more than 5 at a time. And try to kind of crouch down so people can see me. We'll go and we'll have a good time. We'll start right here because I think your costume is awesome.
Thank you. Earlier today, I don't know if you got to see this before the podcast that they brought it with them, but I presented Gabe and Tycho with Splug. I did him.
Wow.
Goblin from the first podcast.
Oh, I know who Splug is.
Yes. Just in case anyone here didn't listen, you should, but there's a goblin named Splug. I did him. It was as a thank you for the work that they put into the podcast series, because it was thanks to that I was finally able to convince my boyfriend that Dungeons & Dragons is totally awesome and he should play it with me. It wasn't that he wasn't interested, it was just he was worried that it would be... He didn't know what it was, really. So I got him to listen to them because he loves Penny Arcade anyway. And at the end of the first podcast, he was like, holy shit, this is amazing, we gotta play now. So since you also helped with that, I wanted to present you with something. I knit you a D4, and I actually finished it I finished it daring the D&D game earlier with Acquisitions Incorporated, so hopefully it's got all the good juju from that. So
Hell yeah.
This is
gorgeous. I rolled a 4. That's awesome now, but last night when I was playing Gamble World and kept rolling 4s on D20, it was less awesome.
Hey, well, quick question. Although you're wearing this weather, could you give us some, for those who missed the panel, do you know if there's some release for that, or?
My understanding is that the game we played today will be released as a podcast. I know that the guys from PATV are here filming it, so I'm not
on the PA side?
I think I'm not entirely sure. I guess I probably should have had an answer for that, because that probably was going to be a question today. I will ask, and then I will tell the Twitter. So you can find out there.
Hey, Will. Like the previous people, you're one of the big reasons why I actually started getting into D&D.
Awesome.
And one of the reasons why I actually carry a D20 around in my pocket now, which has led to some hilarious nerd moments, in front of waitresses at restaurants and things like that. Anyway, I don't want this to get weird or anything, but I was wondering.
Here's Wheaton's third law. Whenever someone says, I don't want this to get weird, the odds of it getting weird approach 1.
I have to take that risk, but I was just wondering, could you roll my D20 for me?
No!
That's cool. I fully respect that. I did have a question as well.
Oh, okay.
Just that. I was wondering, you've done some great work on the Big Bang Theory.
Thank you.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. There's a couple of people here who agree with me, but I was wondering, is there any chance that the Evil Wil Wheaton character would recur again on Big Bang Theory in the near future?
This is really funny. When I was up in Vancouver, seriously, Vancouver, you cheer, you're like, hey, we're happy and we left. Why do you all try to kill me when I cross the street? What is that about? And everyone is like, oh, there's an pedestrian. I'm going to try to kill him. Is it balance to that whole Canadians are nice thing? Is that what that is? It's weird. That's what we call a rhetorical question. We're worth 50 points. I'm only worth 50 points? Fuck you, Canada.
That's 50 American points in Canada, which is actually, when you do the exchange rate, it's actually quite good.
Oh, that's good. So when I was up in Vancouver, I got up in the morning, working on Eureka, and I have this morning ritual. I get up, I make my coffee, I make my oatmeal, I make steel cut oatmeal, kind of nerd. So I get up, I do that with these amazing local blueberries that I bought at the public market on Granville Island for $1.50. So that was rad. So I'm doing that, and I open up the computer, and I go I wonder what my friends are saying on Twitter. And I see via Twitter that I'm going back to the Big Bang Theory. And I was like, wait, what? And so Brady told Entertainment Weekly, we're trying to bring Evil Wil Wheaton back for, and I believe the important words were at least one more before the end of the season. And I guess the story is that they're all the guys are waiting in line for a special screening of Raiders of the Lost Ark or something like that. And Evil Wil Wheaton comes up and just cuts them off and takes their seats. And I think specifically takes Sheldon's seat. Probably takes the seat in the theater and just takes that one. And we've actually been talking about it. It's just a matter of scheduling and a few other things like that. I have said since the first episode, all they have to do is ask. And I would run back there as fast as I can. Because I love it.
But I'm with the brigade, and I would be able to make it to any of your sign panels. Would you be able to sign my thing now? I'm going to be
Hang on.
selling cookies for Charles.
I know what the cookies are. Hey, does anybody want to tell me about this community that has grown out of PAX. And I'm sure you've all felt it. You know, I mean, I go to a lot of cons, and I have never felt the same level of love and camaraderie and that like esprit de corps that exists at PAX. And when we went out to Boston, we were worried, like, I don't know, is this going to go to East? And it did. And we figured out that it's probably because people who want to attend PAX, like we all have that one sort of thing in common. We all kind of love stuff, you know. And I said in my keynote at East that we all do all this like creation, you know. We create things with our imagination. We play games, and I think I said, well, all destruction is inherently the same. All creation is unique, special, and different. So I think when you get a lot of gamers together, creative people, inherently creative people. And I was joking with my friend Andrew, who works for Steve Jackson Games, that I bet my experience with gamers and Andrew's experience with Trekkies are like inverse. Because I will go to cons, like I won't really go to them anymore, but I used to go to the creation cons. And I think that because those cons are sort of set up to take people's money from them, that people at those cons would be sort of like, what are you going to do for me, Wheaton? You know, and I said, like, I really can't do that. I'm on my way, you know, I'm going to drop a deuce in my pants if I stay here. And then the guy would be like, well, you owe me and I hate you and I'm never going to watch you again because you didn't stop to do my thing. But then when I get around gamers, I'm like, look, I just wanted to hold a bit. Is that okay? And then people are like, awesome, we get it. You know, or like, can I sit down and play with you? Yes, come play with us. You know, it is I truly believe that the Penny Arcade community is the only community from which Child's Play can spring. That's where our time is back. That's what that's about. And that is entirely community driven. It's a creative. Feels about humans is how I feel about Penny Arcade. Yes.
Okay, first I'd like to say that when I walked into the media room, the first thing they told us is, okay, so there's lockers for you guys on the walls, but we need little applies. Okay, seriously, don't take more than we need. And so I don't know what that fucking douchebag's problem was. Supposed to be not gonna. I've been getting this enough. But I guess.
He's probably from California. Hey, I can say that because I'm from California.
I live there now, but yeah. But I wanted to ask, so with your experience with the guild, it sounds like you had a whole lot of fun getting to be a storyteller and an actor at the same time, working with Felicia Day doing independent storytelling where nobody's telling you what story you can tell. And I was wondering if kind of that and your experience writing has gotten you more interested in doing more independent things and moving away from like...
You know, independent stuff sort of has... Independent work is a double-edged sword because we do have a lot more creative freedom. When Felicia and I work together on the guild, we have... Let's see, so I've seen these things, haven't I? There have been scenes like where we go on a date that's not a date.
Yeah, we've been up to the fainting couch.
Okay, great. So in that episode, there are moments in that thing where we're sitting down and we're talking about things, and we're rehearsing, and like Felicia had an idea, and I had an idea, and then Jeff had an idea, and like we were able to just make changes right there. It wasn't like if you're on a television series where those changes have to be approved by this guy and this guy and this guy at the network and the other guy who's out of the office all day. On the other hand, Felicia and I are working on Eureka right now, and we have dressing rooms, and that's kind of awesome. We're not changing in the bathroom, you know. So it is really a double-edged thing, and I'm really grateful, and I just feel unbelievably lucky that I even have the opportunity to kind of work in these different things that I love and feel really good about, and that I sort of have the opportunity to like think, gosh, I don't know, can I fit that in? Can I do that because I'm doing these other things? I don't want to take it for granted, and I don't want to talk about it too much, so I don't want to wreck it, you know? But just the point of something great for the career that I have. That's what I'm kind of trying to say.
Dad, why didn't you tell us he has kids?
My kids are in college. Kids in college live very far away. I was talking to my son Ryan when I was in Vancouver, and he said, hey, how you doing? How's Canada? And I was like, Canada's great when they're not trying to kill me when I cross the street. I really want to go home. I really miss my mom, and I really miss the dogs. And then he texts back to me, don't you miss Ryan? And I was like, yeah, but I miss you all the time. And whether I'm at home and you're in school, or I'm in Vancouver and you're in school, I kind of miss you the same way. You know, it's sort of the same thing. He's like, oh, right, lol.
Thanks for being here. I'm sure this means a lot. This means a lot to me, and I'm sure everyone else.
Thank you for that.
So I have two questions. One, is there going to be anywhere I can buy that shirt? Because
Okay, so I want to show you this. So this shirt is called Pokemon Trainer. Are you in here? No. Okay, so this was made for me by a girl. I saw her wearing a shirt that just said AOL, like this, at Woodstock in Seattle. And this is why it's like, this is awesome, but this is why it's super awesome. So it turns out she's friends with Molly, and because they go to school together, and she brought me this yesterday, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, I'm wearing that. So as of right now, no, you can't buy it anywhere. But I'm going to encourage her to open up like an Etsy shop or a Zazzle shop or something like that, because I think it's rad. And maybe, maybe she can get something from that.
And second, are you playing any games or reading any books that you would suggest?
I've been playing a game called Fiasco. It's an amazing storytelling RPG. It's not really a GM-less game, it's like a GM-full game. Everybody kind of works together to run the game, and it's amazing and incredibly fun. I highly recommend it. It's an indie RPG, and it's great. I don't know if it's on sale here. I'm playing a Steve Jackson game called Zombie Dice. That's crazy fun. I know they play Zombie Dice on Megaton. And Blue Dice, which is also super fun, and I understand can be converted very easily into a drinking game. If I did that sort of thing, which I don't because I'm too old for that shit. But I've been playing the hell out of those. I am really excited to go home and play Limbo. I never got to play Limbo. And for almost a month straight, I played Red Dead Redemption. So here's the thing about Red Dead Redemption that I thought was amazing. I found that I spent more time in Red Dead Redemption just riding my horse. I was like, I'm going to go watch the sunset in Mexico today. Come on, Lightning, let's go. My horse's name was Lightning. And I'd hop on Lightning and we'd go for a ride, and there'd be like, guy would be like, hey, I'm outside Fort Mercer, come shoot some bandits. And I'd be like, glad to help you, dude, but I'm going to watch the sunset in Mexico, can't do it. And then I was like, I'm going to go pick some flowers. That sounds like fun. Let me put all my guns down while I pick up flowers. And I loved the story, and I loved the voice acting, and I thought the motion capture was incredible, and the cinematics of it blew my mind. And I won't spoil this for you. A lot of people are still mad at me for spoiling Dragon Age in my PAX East keynote. But it was, the game ends, and there's this moment of like, what the fuck just happened? And there's like a little bit of a denouement, and I was like kind of waiting for that to happen. I was like, wait, it's over? And they leave me hanging like this? So I went and wrote fan fiction that would be like the end of the game. The story can't be unresolved. This thing has to happen. So those are the things that I was playing. Oh, and I read a book called Uncertainty that is about Heisenberg. Heisenberg on one side, Albert Einstein on one side, Heisenberg and Niels Bohr on the other side. Well, Albert Einstein is like the cranky old man that everybody's tired of, and he's like resistant to change. And Heisenberg and Niels Bohr are like, there's this new thing in physics you should check out. And it's all about Heisenberg like trying to get physics to recognize the uncertainty principle. It's amazing. Yes.
Hi, I guess I want to know about the games and all that. After going to PAX and after checking out all the demos and all that, which games would you say you are looking the most forward to coming out?
Well, I'm really excited about the next Bioshock game. I'm really excited that the game is like right back, like he's on the stick for that. I'm really excited about that. Dragon Age 2, obviously. And Fallout New Vegas. That's sort of like, so, name 3 animals you think are cute. All right, puppies, kittens, and baby pigs. Okay, great. Wow, I'm going to stake out some controversial territory. But those are the games that I'm really, really excited about. And I loved Bioshock too. A lot of people were kind of down on it, and I know it sort of got down to like, oh, I'm going to put a bunch of mines around my harvest out for this guy, and I'm going to try to survive this fight. But I thought the story was great. And that point is like, sorry, if you've ever gotten to this point, don't get mad at me because the game's been out for long. At this point where you actually become a little sister, you can see what Rapture was like before it all went to shit. I thought it was great. I felt sad for Rapture. And I was like, oh, see, that's because libertarianism's crap. Sorry, guys. Turns out your whole Ayn Rand thing kind of is a load of shit.
I think I asked this question a couple of years ago too, but I'm just going to ask it again.
Sounds like a good plan.
Is there an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation that defined the series for you in any way?
What did I say 2 years ago?
No, you said you couldn't find the answer.
My instinct is to say Tapestry defines Next Generation. Because Tapestry, for those of you who don't know, Tapestry is an episode of Next Generation where Picard gets an opportunity to fundamentally change a decision that he made. And he gets stabbed through the heart, and he has this artificial heart. And the artificial heart is failing, and he's going to die. And Q's like, well, guess what, Picard? You cannot have the artificial heart anymore. You can go to this point where you made the decision to start the fight with the guy, and everything, and you don't fight the guy, and you go ahead and have your life. And Picard's like, oh, that sounds awesome. I'll do that. And he goes and does it, and it turns out that it wasn't especially a great decision for him because it led him to a life of just being kind of like in the middle. He's sort of like just a lieutenant who's never really distinguished himself. Nobody's particularly impressed with him. And there's this amazing Picard speech where he says, this choice I made, which I regret, which I carry, which is part of me. Really, it's like my heart. I literally carry this bad decision I made in my artificial heart. Is part of the tapestry of my life. And if I plug a thread in the tapestry of my life, the entire thing will happen. And people ask me all the time, if you could do something different, if you could change something, if you could make a different choice, would you make that choice? And the truth is that I would. Because every day I wake up and I'm like, I can't believe I get to do this. My job is to pretend. My job is to entertain people. And when I'm not doing it on the set, I get to travel around the country and perform on stage with Adam Savage and Holland Storm, and fucking Peter Sable came to one of our shows and debuted something. That's my life. Oh, and by the way, my kids are amazing. My wife is awesome. My dogs love me. And we just found that our house has hardwood floors. Really think about it. There are all these times in your life where you can look back and think if I had done X instead of Y, or if I had gone left instead of right, I wouldn't have been in that place for that thing. And, if you're happy with your life, even if you're 51% happy with your life, that's the result of all the choices. So I think that Star Trek is sort of defined by that because Star Trek is about possibility. And Star Trek is about being the best that humans can be. And I think to be the best that we can be, we have to sort of acknowledge that we do certain things, learn from them, and try to be better the next time the choice comes up. So in 2 years, I've come up with an answer, and it is tapestry.
Star Trek on Sunday night. And it's really good memories. And I wanted to ask you, I heard that you didn't like Star Trek very much, you didn't like being Vice and Crusher. And I wanted to ask why.
There was a time where I really didn't. When I was a teenager, and I was spending a lot of time working on the show. I was there all day, every day. And as a teenager, I wanted to be hanging out and playing games with my friends, or eating Metroid with my brother or whatever. I would go places and I would just hear we hate you and you suck and you're terrible and you ruined everything. And I was like, fuck you! I gotta do this every day. And I don't want to do this so you can yell at me, Because I was a kid and I didn't understand that I couldn't get separation from them. I was like, why are people yelling at me all the time? Why are people so mean to me? And I really didn't, I was 15. I didn't realize, like, that was the area, not Star Trek. Now as an adult, I'm 38, and I meet people all the time that are like my age, plus or minus 3 to 5 years, who are like, I really like Star Trek. And, hey, guess what? I'm a scientist now because I wanted to be Wesley. Or I'm an astrophysicist now because Wesley was cool and I wanted to do that. Or, hey, guess what? I'm a high-ranking military dude because Wesley was in Starfleet and I thought that was great. Or the only thing my dad and I ever agreed on in our lives was that we liked Star Trek together. And these are all moments that I can tell these stories now. When they happen, I'm like, I've come to the conclusion that 15-year-old me was wrong. He may have not been operating from a complete data set. And that is people who are my age now, who were affected by it and have started a positive experience in their life. Just weren't on music. Back then.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Where I am the only guy with 17 other girls.
Wow,
and
terrible.
Not only that, and I'm just like the weird gamer guy because none of them play.
Are you DJ at a strip club?
No.
Come on, you all thought that.
But anyways, the only thing we do actually have in common is.
Anyways, it's blowing me up. Come on, let me ask my question.
No, I'm not a DJ at a strip club.
Okay, that's fine.
I actually work at a child care center.
Oh, God damn it. Go ahead. Anyways, now, you're the only guy, you work with 17 girls, and you're working with child care. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. And now go.
So what I did actually find I had in common is about a year ago, I got them all to start watching Big Bang Theory. And when I told the girls that I might be able to ask you a question in C this weekend, they all kind of went ape shit. So I went and I kind of pulled and I asked them what they would want to ask you, and they all said, why the hell did you break up Leonard and Penny?
Excellent question. I'm going to have to get Evil Wil Wheaton to answer that question for you. Hang on. I think a lot of people are missing the real fundamental point of that entire experience. It's really kind of a bummer, I guess, that their relationship couldn't withstand little gamesmanship. I guess that's kind of a bummer. I mean, if he was that great, she probably would have stayed with him because she's hot. But I think people are really overlooking something. I wanted bowling. And I am not a good bowler. And it's awesome that you named your team after me.
First of all, I just want to say that Fiasco is on sale here at the Dreaming booth. So a bunch of copies. Go buy it.
Do you know the number of the booth?
They have two booths. They have one on the hidden level, tabletop gaming area, and the other one is on a wall somewhere near the elevator that leads to it.
Okay, sure.
Anyway, question. Did you see Of Dice and Men last night?
I did not see Of Dice and Men last night. I was playing in a playtest of Munchkin Zombies. Yeah, it's exactly what you think. And then we played Gamma World. Listen, I played Gamma World with Andrew Hacker, who is my real good friend and editor and Munchkin Czar, Will Heinmart, who used to design games for White Wolf and did all the interior design for Memories of the Future, my book, and everything I've done recently. And Keith Baker played in the game with us, and Logan Bonner ran it. And I'm introducing them, and I'm like, you do this awesome thing, and 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 apparently I'm just a guy with awesome friends. So that's why I didn't get to go.
Well, it was amazing. It was personally moving for me.
I've heard that from
It was fantastic. Everybody go see it again. It's a little indie theater production, and I want to know how I can help support it. I know that you have certain concerns.
That's a really good question.
I'm going to give them money, but I'm looking for something else.
Giving them money is a great way to support them, actually, because as independent artists, they're not only concerned with can we put the play on, they're also concerned with can we pay our bills. And that's important. And, you know, coming to PAX is expensive. And giving the money is great. Spreading the word so that more people know about it is also wonderful. Letting people know how it kind of affected you as a gamer. Cory Doctorow talked about sort of handing off books. And he said, loaning books is a really important good thing because there's an implied endorsement when I loan you a book. Like, I'm not going to tell you to play Fiasco if it sucks, you know? And hopefully I have a little bit of credibility in this room. And you know that, like, I'm going to tell you, if I tell you, like, do this, man, it's going to be a good time. And I tell people all the time, listen, if you know the kind of music I like, if you like the kind of music I like, you're going to love, Camera Obscura. So you can let people know about it and find out where they are, like where they're located, help them get into the theater. Volunteer. Go to the theater and just help out. Help crew the show if you want to, and things like that. The thing that's great about indies is that a lot of indies are sort of done on favors. And Felicia will tell you that this first season of the Guild was pulled off entirely out of favors. It blows my mind when I see what we are able to do, and because I know how much we spend on the Guild, and it's not enough. And it blows my mind when I see what we can do. That Bollywood video, it was pulled together on favors. And it's incredible, offer to help.
Okay, and quick request. When this is over, will you lead us, your adoring fans, to the concert so that we can actually get inside?
Yeah, this is me. Hi, main theater. Yeah, it's where we want some friends.
1,000 close personal friends.
I just wanted to bring like 1,000 people. Hello? He said go fuck yourself. I'm sorry, I wish I could do that, but I'm actually going out to dinner with some friends.
Well, I had to try. Thanks.
Right on.
Hello. You are noted for saying, don't be a dick.
Yes.
It's on t-shirts. But the two characters I'm most familiar with these days seeing you are Fox.
They're giants.
They are epic dicks.
I am aware of this.
Two-part question. Was that deliberate, and how much fun do you have doing it?
Okay, so two part answer. When I wrote Robert asked me if I would do the keynote in 7, I was scared to death. And I said, there's no way. Absolutely not. I didn't have a single relevant thing to say to this people. Like, nobody who plays games cares what I think. Like, I'm just a super actor. And he said, I think I will. And I've read some things that you've written, and I did. And you'll have fun. And Robert talked to me. And I wanted to do something meaningful with the opportunity that I was given. I didn't want to just tell funny stories. I didn't want to just be like a diversion for something, And I was really scared. I was terrified that people would leave me, that people would boo me, that I was going to be irrelevant, and I was even when I walked out, it was a great intro. I was scared. I thought, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do something worthwhile. Okay, you have an opportunity to kind of make an impact on what do you do? And don't be a dick came out of that. Because I think it's really simple. I mean, it's a very simple philosophy that we can live. Just be nice, but be kind. Say things. Help people out. Be honest. Be honorable. And if enough of us do that, we have like a cascading effect on the world, and we give it to our children, and we spread it around. And I thought this is a huge community. It's a global community. Maybe there's an opportunity to encourage people to not be like those racist, misogynist 15-year-olds online, that say horrible things, you know? And I want to do that. And that's why I added it. And I went backwards from there. And I got lucky that the rest of it was funny. it was a lot of fun. So I tried very hard to live that. And a guy emailed me a couple of days ago that there is a WoW guild. And the whole point of the guild is that it's the don't be a dick guild. And I think that's amazing. I think that's the coolest thing ever. I see it on Twitter all the time. People say, hey, blah, 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 follow Wheaton's law. And it's an enforcer law. You know, remember, rule number 1, Wheaton's law. And I think that's great. Because it actually wasn't me that actually came up with that. Like, I mean, I think that's kind of like, that's sort of the golden rule from the Bible. And I'm an atheist, I'm not religious in this. I am as not religious as you could possibly be. But there's it's a weird minority to be not religious in the United States these days. But yeah, but it's, I hope that I can help get that right. Now, as an actor, I have to figure out what kind of role I'm meant to play. Like, what's good for me? What do I have fun doing? And how do I resonate with audiences? How do I connect with audiences? And I don't remember exactly how I figured it out, but I was having a lot of fun playing characters who were douchebags. It was just fun to play guys that were dicks. It was fun to play guys who were like Evil Wil Wheaton. And I was having a lot of fun when I played those characters, so I was booking those jobs. And I remember saying to Kimmy, when she was doing Gorgeous Tiny Chicken Machine show, she said, do you like to be on Gorgeous Tiny? I was like, I love Gorgeous Tiny. Yeah, can I play a douchebag? And Kim said, but you're such a nice person. Why would you want to play a douchebag? I was like, no, it just works. So I played this like agent, who's just a scumbag. I was like, I want to represent you even though I've never seen the show because it's a big deal. Excuse me, I take a call on Bluetooth. You know? And that led to playing Fox on the Guild. She said, I'd like to be on the Guild. And I was like, great, can I play a jerk? And getting comfortable, getting to know those guys has been a lot of fun because there's also like, there's a humor behind it, you know? Like, it was not a lot of fun to play the serial rapist on Criminal Minds. That was very dark, very serious, very intense, very challenging. I gotta let this guy go, character. But these other guys, they're a lot of fun. And sometimes it can be the exception that proves the rule. Like to play those guys, like, listen, man, don't be a box. Don't be a dick. Oh, last question? All right, last question. We're getting the flashback.
So, you've called and Twittered into events like
yeah.
Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And I was wondering what your thoughts were on kind of using the power of celebrity with that.
I don't know how to answer that without sounding like a self-important jerk. I'm really lucky. I'm really lucky and I'm really grateful for what I have. I work very hard for what I have. But what I have would not be possible without my kindness of untold hundreds of thousands of people. And the support from people who really is going to gain nothing from just being awesome. It's really important that I honor trainers and support that I've been given. I return that however I can. There are people who become like professionals. And after a while, it's just like, okay, great. To choose to support things that are very meaningful, that matter to me. I can go around and say, you know, look at this, look at this, look at this, but I think it sort of lose its impact with me. So I choose very, very, very carefully because I think I put my integrity and I want to maintain that. You know, when people put their trust in me, there's a huge, huge responsibility to honor that trust. So I really use Twitter when I do those things, I just want to point out great stuff. When I was at Gen Con, I saw this fantastic, handcrafted pizza that looked like a Nintendo cartridge. And there was one that looked like an Atari 2600 cartridge. And there was a little jar of brain-shaped soaps, and it says Abby Normal. And there's this other, I know, right? And then there's this other girl who makes cookies, and she puts B20s into the Scrabble. And I know, right? And she makes different soaps. She makes like a brown Coke soap that has brown sugar in it that's exfoliated. She has a soap that's got like peppermint stuff in it that's like cure like wounds. She's got soap that looks like the TARDIS from Doctor Who. I know. And I looked at it. She's got one that smells really good. That's like it's kind of sexy smelling, and it's like this +5 to sex carries. And I saw her and broke my no touching rule and hugged her, And I said, I hope this doesn't sound weird, but I'm so proud of you. Like you're just a person, and you got excited, and you made something, and you did this. And she said, you mentioned it on Twitter, and I have a business because of that now. Like people know about me. It's just word of mouth. I just happen to have a very big mouth. Scott and Chris are going to be here right after me, and before you all leave, I want to say it again. Thank you. Thank you so much for being awesome to me. You are kinder to me than I deserve. It means the world to me that I'm part of this community. I'm so happy to be here. I'm at max HP, and I've got mana coming out of my ass. It's just great. I love you, PAX. Have a wonderful PAX, everyone.